right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app. Your home smart speaker up on TSN 2 this afternoon. Brian Hazy, Doug, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on? How we doing? Everyone knows what's going on in the world. We got World Cup draws. We've got crazy finishes in Toronto. We got the Leafs on a heater. Everything's coming up great for us right now.
Leafs are on a heater, Hazy, and I don't know about you, but I got a ton of people saying, "See, you dummy, they're fine. All your stupid talk about," and I couldn't even read it. I could not even read it.
Why can't everyone be happy? It's great. They're playing well. They had a great trip.
But like what we were watching before, we were delusional and we had no idea what we were watching. We were supposed to say, these guys are awesome. They're just, it's not quite working out.
Well, they're still not in a playoff spot yet, right? Yeah. And it's still December, and now Joseph Woll is out, and who knows what is going to happen there. Yeah,
I got some concerns, guys. I'm watching that game yesterday, and you're seeing him do the knee flex after the save, and I was like, oh, the bend. And you know how they did that? Is it that Tic Tac Omar guy or whatever? That he has a perfect view of it, and
right
I'm like,
on
oh no, yeah,
right, like he's on the ice, like he's got his own camera.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't surprising because you saw it happening in the second. He got up a little bit slow, and it's just so unfortunate because he's played so well. You know, he's played so well, and it just feels like the Leafs are just going to be up against it. And their schedule is crazy, but every team in the league has it. Like every team just plays every night or every other night, all the way up until the Olympic break.
This is a little bit different with the goaltender. Like we're getting to a point with this guy where he goes through these stretches, and you say the same thing, or Noodles or myself will say the same thing. He's played so well. But if he can't last more than 10 games, like what exactly is he? It feels like a Tiger Woods type situation. Joseph Wall's coming back. And now we're going to do another one. When's Joseph Wall coming back? It's crazy stuff. Like, what are you all about if you can only play 10-game segments and then you're gone for however amount of time? It's difficult, but it's a tough pill to swallow.
What we always say, the most important ability is availability. You got to have it, man. You got to be able to play. But
so, any updates today's? Like,
nothing.
I was
you're not getting anything. Noodles. They're not telling you anything. You know, like you could see Craig Berube. I actually credit the media because the media kind of jabbed at him a little bit last night. Craig got a little bit sour. You could tell Berube's sour because he's in a weird spot. He doesn't know, and it's not his job to find out. Like
the game
to find
ended
out.
Like 4 minutes prior.
Right, and the game had just ended, and it's up to the trainers and the medical staff. And you always know you're going to fly home. You guys know this. You're going to get home, reset, show up at the facility today, see what's going on. But you could tell the media is like, well, who finds out? When do you find out? Like they were kind of going at him, and he was getting a little bit owly, which is disappointing because they just played a great game last night.
No kidding.
And they won again, and it's like they can't have nice things.
Yeah,
this
that whole road trip, Brian, their season was on the line basically. Where if they had a crap the bed, they went 4-2. They beat some good teams, and they seem like they've got it together, which is ultra positive. That should be the storyline.
Absolutely.
But instead, it's like, where is this guy? When's he coming back? How bad is the injury? Like, that was an awesome road trip. In the last 2 games, they played fantastic.
They played really well. At Florida, at Carolina, dominating the game, complete control. You knew they were going to win. And unfortunately, you got a scenario where Woll is going to be out. You know, who knows how long. I guess we'll find out. But I think everyone understands he won't play tomorrow night. I mean, that would be a shock if he played tomorrow night. And Stolarz hasn't even hit the ice yet. So
he hasn't even hit the ice
has not
yet?
even touched the ice. That is one thing Berube gave an update on last night. Has not put his skates on in 3 weeks. So I don't know. Noodles, you can speak to it, but I think they might need to find a 4th goalie somehow. Like Hildeby will play, but I don't know what else you're going to do. He can't play every single game.
No, and Artie, I'm not gonna pronounce his name.
You're going to Wayne Gretzky his name? Is that your plan here? Did you see Wayne went 0 for 3 on the countries today? 0 for 3. He pulled 3 names out, and he butchered not 1, not 2, all 3. He butchered Jordan. Jordan. He pulled it out and he goes, Jordan. And they're like, what? Wayne Gretzky went 0 for 3 at the World Cup draw today.
Do we have it though? I only saw it on
put
Twitter.
A little,
do we have the sound?
We'll put a little montage together a little bit later, and we'll get Wayne Gretzky.
He didn't say Jourdain.
I'm telling you, I was watching Wayne Gretzky stole the show. There were two things that stole the show today. The Village people got out late for their own performance. Like the band was playing and the singers weren't on stage on time, which was absolutely absurd to watch.
Oh, God.
And Wayne Gretzky pulled 3 names out, and he went 0 for 3 based on what I saw. And a couple of the names he wasn't even close on pronouncing properly.
Hayes, do you remember this years ago? It might have been just you and I, but do you remember it was like a candidate, Gary Johnson or something, and they were like, where is Aleppo?
Yes.
And he was like, Aleppo?
Aleppo.
In Syria, right?
I don't know. You tell me. And then he just got Wayne Gretzky had a tough. Was it tough? I just don't know if there was a lot of prep. I think he was going like, just give me England, man. You know what I mean? Give me Spain.
Yeah.
Give me one of those. And it was like, no, you got to pronounce this. And he butchered all 3 of them. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It happens.
Did he say Macedonia?
Yeah, Macedonia instead of Macedonia, which that one hurt. Curacao, I believe. Although I'm going to start butchering the names too. It's not like I'm some genius, but yeah, 99 had a tough day.
Jeez.
He had a tough one down in Washington.
You know what? Getting back to the games last night, though. I mean, that's a great road trip. You've got lots to be happy about, and they were getting a little bit of puck luck, which you're not. You weren't getting that in the losing streak too. You're getting like things are going their way, which is really good. Now, Hildeby is a capable goaltender. So I think he can play. I mean, you got a big game tomorrow against Montreal. Let's see. That's basically you're getting close to a playoff spot if you can beat Montreal tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I know, it's crazy that Hayes just said. First, it went from Stolarz can't play every night, and then we were like, Woll can't play every night. And Hayes just said, well, Hildeby can't play all the games. It's crazy that we're at Hildeby can't play all the games.
I know. Well, and it's just a reality. Like, I looked it up last night, just their schedule. Like, out of curiosity, what does it look like up until they get to the Olympic break? And that is a big line for every team in the league. It is going to be a sludge fest trying to get to February 3rd or 4th.
Yeah,
and then the whole league gets a break outside of the players that are going to go, and that's a lot of the best players are going to still continue to play. But all the depth in the league is going to be on a beach for 2 weeks and completely reset, and then 4 or 5 days of practices, and then it's going to be a sprint to see who can get home.
Yeah.
But you got to get there, and if you look at it, and again, the Leafs, every team has the same thing. This is not exclusively a Leaf thing. It is They play 16 games in January, and then they play I think they play 3 and 4 before they fly over to Italy. Like, it's crazy how much they play. And the reality is you can't have one goalie play every game. So you literally need a backup to play some back-to-backs. And the reality is the season, we keep moving the goalposts. Like, all right, this road trip is the season. Now it's likely going to be, if Hildeby's got to start like 8 of the next 10, that's your season. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Can Hildeby do enough? Because he's played pretty well, to his credit. But, Noodles, you can speak to it. Some guys, you come up, you're on adrenaline, you play well. To expect him to be great every single night is just unfair and unrealistic. Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah. They've got to really defend well. They got to get their power play going. And they're going to have to grind here because they're in one. If Woll is out for an extended period of time, Stolarz, you have no idea when he's going to return. Like, no clue when he's coming back. They clearly don't have a clue. And Tanev and Carlo are going to be out for a long time.
I can't believe you just said Stolarz hasn't even touched the ice.
Has not touched the ice. Yeah. That was Berube said that last night. Said has not skated yet.
Well, we don't know the nature of the injury. That's the problem. Just upper body, right? Like that. It's we can guess concussion, that type of. But it's not fair for us to start guessing. I mean, he's been out. He's been spotted. Him and I believe his wife were at like the Children's Hospital and stuff. He's doing
the rounds.
He's
been at events
which is
and
good.
stuff
It's a
like
good
that.
sign for me, right? Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it would be a better sign if he was playing and skating. But, I hear you. I mean, hopefully he returns at some point. I think with Woll, I keep looking at, because I was hearing it kind of described last night, like ever since he returned, they've really been riding him. He's played 7 games.
No kidding,
Like,
dude.
it's not, and he didn't play in Pittsburgh. Obviously, he didn't play the back-to-back.
Dude, it's the same as Stolarz. He played those games at the beginning of the season. It wasn't that long.
And they were all home games.
And it was visible in Buffalo where he had ice bags on his knees. It's like, what league are we talking about here? I get it, like you got to have a tandem, you got to do this or that, but icing your knees, like I guess sometimes guys ice stuff, but like it was almost like a sign saying, man, the workload. Even the coach said, the workload's been a lot on him. I guess times have changed. Other than talking to Jamie, I've talked to some other old school goaltenders, and they're basically in shock by what goes on with some of these guys. Like, it's shocking.
Well, I'll say this. The game is different now because it's so fast side to side. And I remember talking to Roberto Luongo at the end of his career and asking him, is it tough to play back-to-back? And he said, absolutely. With the amount of speed and traffic, like you're up, down, over. He said at his age, he goes, the recovery was a day or two, as opposed to when he was a starter, he could just play the next night. So I'll say this. The game is different, so I can't sit there, knowing what I was as a player and go, I'm judging this. My concern is exactly what Brian and what you were saying, too. It's 7 games out of 8 type of thing, and we got an injury. It sucks for him, and I feel bad. But in the end, everybody's depth is going through some form of adversity. They've got to find a way. Maybe you're winning. You're focusing on winning 2-1 every night because you just give Hildeby a chance to hang in there. That has to be the focus right now.
Yeah, you got to play.
Yeah, and
you
it's
got to play the
frustrating,
games.
guys. Just covering this team, and we talk about the Leafs a lot. This has gone on for a long time around here. Freddie Anderson used to disappear for long stretches at a time.
Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell. Yeah. And then who's the goalie we got from Ottawa that is now in Seattle?
Matt Murray.
Matt Murray would just it's like it's gone on for so long. It's like every goalie they get, it's like they get injured a lot, and it's disappearing all the time. It's just a frustrating string of events to watch year after year.
It highlights the greatness of the guys who play all the time.
No kidding.
Like out of curiosity, I looked it up. I'm like, I wonder when Sergei Bobrovsky missed time. Never, ever. Just never misses anything. Like Vasilevsky didn't play last night, and then Cooper came out and said, he'll be fine Saturday. He'll play. He'll play tomorrow. Vasilevsky will miss 1 game. And he never is injured. It's never he's gone for a month or a month and a half, or we'll see what happens. He's not feeling great. That's the nature of the guys. That's why the Hellebuck news is so shocking, because he just plays all the time, and he's always healthy, and he's always ready. And I think with Woll, I think we just got to get to a point where you accept it. That's who he is. When he plays, you hope he stays healthy because he can play well. He's not capable of doing it. He just can't. He can't, dude. He's 27 years old. He's hurt all the time.
I get it, but what organization would keep? Like, how many times can you keep going back to the well?
They don't have another choice.
Dude,
you
can't
just get Vasilevsky. Like, what else are you going to do?
But you go back to Game 7 of a playoff series, and all of a sudden he just can't play in the game. It's like, how could you want to trust that? Game 1 of the season, and I don't know, he was hurt Game 1 of a season, and then the next season he's gone for personal reasons or whatever. You get to a point where how can you actually trust that going into a big game? Any of your goaltenders, to be honest with you. It's crazy stuff.
It's
and
very
I
difficult
hate
to
talking about guys' injuries. It's like they always say it's never fair to guess or speculate on people's injuries. But, man, is it frustrating. It must be frustrating for the teammates.
It's more important with the position we're talking about. That's what makes it, like Carlo, you can survive without Brandon Carlo. Ideally, you'd like him to play. Obviously, you'd hope everyone's available. You can survive. It's very difficult to envision if Stolarz and Woll are out for an extended period of time. Like, that's a real challenge, man. Like, you lose both your guys. Like, you're on your 3rd goalie, and you started the way you started, because they're really chugging right now. Like, they're playing, man.
There's the disappointing part. They're digging themselves out of this.
Yeah, they look good. They should be proud of that. They're playing well.
Yes.
Yeah. The one thing that I would say, and I think it's probably frustrating from both of you and the fan base and even Chief and the organization, is you look at Joseph Woll, and he's a good goaltender. So Stolar. You're going. These are good goalies. These aren't guys that
you rip those guys into the net every other night. You got a dangerous tandem. Like, that's a solid tandem.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, and that's where, again,
that's...
they just never got a chance to start that this year, right? Like, because Woll was away, and then when he returned, Stolarz has been away, and now they're both presumably going to be away.
Well,
and they just haven't been able to feed off each other, right? You go, then you can bank on them playing once a week, maybe twice. Someone's got to play twice a week. That's kind of how you have to map it out, but it's just not a reality right now.
Well, keep in mind, guys, we haven't even Caden Primo got some starts. Tree had to grab Primo off of waivers from Carolina just to cover for Woll when he was gone. Like, he might have to do something like that, depending on, again, I'm hoping that Joseph Woll had muscle cramps last night or spasms or something like that, and he shows up tomorrow and he's able to play, or he's able to play on Tuesday or Wednesday when they play next week. But we don't know. No,
and again, they're off today, so we'll find out tomorrow. But certainly not holding my breath on that. I don't think anyone necessarily is. But listen, they're playing. They had a good road trip, and I think it starts at the top. I think Austin Matthews had a really good game again last night. He was a guy injured, was out for a while. He realized, I got to come back. I got to play. Probably wasn't 100%. They needed him. They needed him on this trip. And you look at the forward lines right now, everything else is mashed up. 1 through 12 up front, they're good. Matthews is playing, and Nyes was great last night. That goal he scored was phenomenal, man. Like, he's had a few of those in his career where he's just a bull in a china shop and blows past a guy. And the fact that he went backhand there, that's sneaky. Like, that's a cheeky play.
Real, everything involved with the power forward, he was awesome last night.
Yeah, and he's been great this year. Like, he's played really, really well. And they're going to need it. Like, they're going to need everyone they have to continue to roll. All right, Mike Johnson was calling the game. Man, Johnny had a tan going last night. He looked like $1 million in between the benches. Hair was dialed in, because he was Florida to Carolina, right? He was on that trip with the boys. He had himself.
He was lying by a pool.
Yes, there were vitamins, and he was in a very good headspace last night. But the Leafs have Montreal tomorrow night. It's a big, big game. Habs are rolling through town. Big game tomorrow night. You're looking for redemption if you're the Leafs, considering what happened a couple of weeks ago. So we'll get to that with Johnny. We'll get to Luke and big win by the Lions. Big win by HBO last night. We'll get to some more picks. We'll get into the World Cup draw, how Canadiens are feeling about what went down today. The whole thing was kind of a wild circus, man. It was not on time, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on. But everything's been established now, so we know the groups. We know who Canada's going to play, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Dear Hazy B as well. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Mike Johnson in just over half an hour. Dear Hazy B later this afternoon. Crazy game. Lakers, man, what a win that was for them. Austin Reeves was phenomenal. And what was crazy was LeBron had gone 1,297 straight games with double-digit points.
He's willing to risk it all.
Came to an end last night. And I thought he was going to take it to the basket and say, screw it, man. I'm going for 10. I'm getting to double digits. And his credit, he made a beautiful pass. And obviously the Lakers end up winning that game. But what a run. Like, what a streak that is, man.
Yeah, well, he stayed on the court for like a blowout game the other night to keep the streak alive where he had 7.
That's right.
And then last night it was like – and then after the game he's like, I just want to win, and that's all that matters. Well, it's like, okay.
Well, I guess, man. I mean, he made the right play.
He showed it.
Right, to his credit. That was a brilliant pass. Brilliant pass, and you got to hit the shot, and he did. But I don't know. Like, it was a cool night. Like, I was lucky because the Leafs were up big or kind of cruising home in the third so I could watch the Raptors game, and the electricity in the building was incredible. A lot of Laker fans, which I guess I'm not surprised by.
Yeah.
A lot of
big
Laker
brand,
fans.
man. Like they probably travel well like the Leafs do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I was just going to say. Don't you think the Lakers are probably one of the biggest brands out there?
Of course.
Like what would be in basketball? Lakers, Knicks?
Lakers, Celtics are the two biggest. Knicks would be in there for sure. But, yeah, no, there's no questioning that. It just, there was a lot of representation by the Lakers, and it turned out to be an unbelievable game. Raptors back in action tonight. So the World Cup, we'll get to this quickly here because I'm a little bit concerned for Canada, right? Like, we're going to get Jesse Marsh on, I think, next week. And our guys, Steven and Luke and Kevin, everyone's been doing their kind of, this would be the ideal group and anything could happen here, but you kind of don't want that. And I'm
what
worried
kind of mentality is that, though? It's like, you kind of don't. What does that say about your team? Even saying things like, do you think the powerhouses are like, no, you kind of don't want that. They don't care.
Well, that's valid. I'm sure if you're Spain, you're like, bring it on. Like France, whatever, Brazil, Germany, like the true European powerhouses, the South American powerhouses, Argentina. But the Americans got a great draw. And immediately people are like, here we go. Like, how did you guys get that draw? And it sure seems like it's a bit of a layup for them to get through the group stage. But Canada's going to play Switzerland, Qatar, and then a playoff team, UEFA Group A or Playoff Path A, which includes Italy. And what I found amazing, and I heard Al's brother talk about this, and I didn't realize Al's brother was such a footy fanatic, but he is of Italian heritage. And he was talking as if it's a formality that Italy is guaranteed to get out of this playoff pool, which is something they have not done in a long time. They choke in the playoff going into the World Cup every 4 years. And everyone's like, well, it's just Italy. It's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. It could be the Welsh. Like, it could be Wales. They could win. They could beat Italy. Italy could choke. And everyone's like, oh, it's just automatic, Italy versus Canada, that first game at BMO.
Dude, think about how electric that would be, though.
It'd be so crazy. It would be so crazy.
Wow. The Woodbridge crew would be down there, right? Like, what would was it Frankie on the panel last night that was being a hero, looking into the camera saying, you got to cheer for, what, Canada or Italy?
Oh, he was full. He claims he would be full Canada. I think Frankie would jump ship, too, and just be like, Forza Italia, let's go. They all would, man. They're not going to cheer for Canada.
Well, I hope whoever they're playing, if you're Swiss and you're from here, if you're from Qatar, that's your background, root for the Canadian team. Like, what are we doing here? It's Canada playing at home.
Like, what kind of home advantage is that if everybody just starts cheering for their own team?
It's one thing if you fly over here and you're Italian. It's another thing if you take the TTC up to Finch and you're like, oh, this is, I've lived here my whole life, and I'm rooting against the home team. If it gets to that point, whoever it is, if they play Wales, if they play Ireland, whatever it is, like, you'd like to believe Canada's going to have a home field advantage. But what I think would happen is it would be a can't-lose scenario for guys like Frankie. Canada wins, love it. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah. Italy wins, hey, I've always been a big fan.
Yeah. Great team, love that team.
Yeah, I've always loved that team, right? Always been my footy team. I've always, supported Canada everywhere else except for on the international soccer stage. So probably be some Don King element to, who you walk out with, whoever actually wins the match. But I'm not convinced Italy even gets there. I mean, they've choked a lot. I don't think they've been in a World Cup in, over a decade. So they got to get through before we can guarantee that.
Yeah, as it approaches, you're going to have some personal bets with some of the Italians around the shop, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Again, assuming they get there. No guarantees. Al's brother and others just talking about it as if it's some sort of formality. All right, so is Luke coming up here in a minute? I believe Luke will join us here in just a second, coming off the Thursday nighter last night. And Detroit, they needed that. Like, that was a big win for them. Yeah. They needed that. And Dallas, that probably puts an end to their kind of miraculous run. They had won, 5 in a row or whatever prior to that, or a few in a row anyway. And it was a great game, fun game. But credit to Detroit. They found a way to get it done.
Dallas players taking some heat. What is it, Pickens? Who was taking Sherman went after him, right?
Yeah, Pickens. Well, his body language was terrible. last night. Like, he was quitting on plays, and he was getting double teamed, and that's natural, but it's you got to fight through it. CeeDee Lamb left the game early, concussion protocol, so everything was isolated on him. It was going to be the Pickens show, and Dak made a few throws to him where it just looked like he quit on plays. And credit to Sherman. Like, Sherman carved him after the game, like destroyed him, as harsh as I can recall any analyst saying anything about an individual player. Like, called him disinterested out there, basically indicated the guy just quit on the game. Like, and that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
Anyone that says the word disinterested is a tough one, man. Like, you could say off night or whatever, but to fire out disinterested, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
But I got to give you props because I thought those Cowboys, that offense was going to cause major problems. And you had the pick, man. You really stepped up to the forefront and showed leadership. You called me off and showed leadership.
Tried our best. Yeah, and listen, Dallas, they did. They put up some numbers offensively, but so did Detroit. Jerry Goff played well. Jahmyr Gibbs been unreal. He was great again last night.
Smell what the Rock is cooking.
Win is a win is a win. And it never stops for us. There he is, Luke Wilson. Go ahead,
Noodles.
Luke.
How we living, man? How we living, Noodles? Listen,
I'm
you guys
fine.
made the right pick.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You guys made the right pick. You got very, very fortunate. CeeDee Lamb getting knocked out and a couple turnovers. To be honest with you, the professional pick was O-Dog. O-Dog had the professional pick, but you guys got lucky. Blind squirrel finds a nut.
Luke, come on, man. That's your go-to whenever the opposition wins. You got to give Hazy some props because he called off every other thing and he made the pick and showed leadership. It was a great pick by my new party.
No props for Hayes. No props for Hayes. Zero props.
Well, it played out like we thought it would. It was a shootout last night, and that run defense that everyone was pumping the tires of on Dallas, they got carved up last night. That Jahmyr Gibbs, man, he is something else. Like, he has scored as many touchdowns at his age as Barry Sanders scored. I believe, what was it, like 46 or 47 by the age of 24?
And Randy Moss was on that list.
Right. Like, that guy, and I remember when they took him, I think Robinson was the first running back in that draft, and Gibbs went second. It was like 11th or 12th overall. And we had the conversation like we do all the time. Should you take a running back in the first round? And listen, he's proven that they were right because he is a superstar, that kid.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, he's going to go down as one of the all-timers. And, again, he's not the biggest guy. And I say this on Jay's show all the time, but what impresses me, I mean, yesterday they didn't actually run the ball with him very efficiently. But it was like, all right, if we can't run the ball, we'll just throw him the football. I think he had 77 yards, was it, receiving, somewhere in that range. And it just was like, okay, get him in open space. And he was making guys look silly out there. And that's when you know you got like a special talent. When you have a guy that's playing in the NFL that makes highlight reels that look like something out of, a high school football game. So he certainly put the team on his back yesterday. You mentioned Goff. Goff also looked great. The thing about it now is when you look at this schedule, I mean, they got the Rams next week, which will be a very, very tough matchup. Talking about the Lions now. It might come down to them versus Chicago the final week of the season, depending on how the Green Bay-Chicago game goes. But it's the Lions got a shot, but they certainly are not out of the woods yet to get into the playoffs.
No, they're not. And they suffered a pretty significant injury last night. And, Dallas, again, like it just felt like at some point their good run was going to come to an end. And they can't win on the road. But, George Pickens, we were talking about him yesterday. Man, your boy Richard Sherman destroyed him after the game. Like, Sherman put him through the wood chipper. And I can't blame him because what I saw of his body language, it wasn't great. That one throw right before the second or the 2-minute warning, he just quit on that play. Like, Dak threw it up. He just quit. Like,
we had a clip. It was a little nicer. It was a little nicer than Sherm's rant. But we did the similar hit on Jay's show last night. And I just basically said, like, if you're a Steelers fan, this is the guy that you traded away. And this year he's been super into it, and he's been obviously phenomenal. But you look at what he did yesterday. And another one for me, Hayes, it's like wildly telling, it was 27-9. You come down, they drive the field. It was 4th and 5. You go to Pickens, he makes a tremendous catch. This kind of sums him up for me in his night last night. It was a tremendous in-traffic catch. He gets down to the 4-yard line, maybe the 3, and he's holding the ball out on the ground. He immediately fumbles, and thank God one of their offensive linemen jumps on it. And I'm like, dude, like, do you have literally zero awareness? And like, I remember, like, you know, I want to go back to Remember the Titans movie. I think it's from that where, like, they used to joke, like, our hopes and dreams are on this football. Like, we would say that, not verbatim, all the time in the NFL. Like, yo, you got to hold on to this ball. This is everybody in this building, players, coaches, trainers, front office, all depends on, like, us protecting the football and trying to take it away from the other team. Like, and to be down there in a game like that, playoffs on the line, just pick, oh, I'm just holding the ball out. Okay, here's a fumble. Like you said, there was a 3rd down later that we highlighted where he like jogged off the line and Dak's screaming at him because he went to him and he didn't come back. Like, I think Sherman was completely justified in his analysis. And I couldn't believe, I don't know if you saw the response from Pickens today on Instagram.
Was that real though? Because I looked at his Instagram account and it wasn't up.
Yeah.
So unless he posted it and deleted it, because he went
maybe
at,
I got then. He went at
it's all over the
Sherman
internet
saying that, like,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you
Sherman.
guys. Yeah, the line of Sherm wasn't anything without the Legion of Boom was, I mean, as a guy that played a lot of years with Sherm, listen, Earl Thomas was also incredible, Cam Chancellor. These guys are the best in their position, but I'm telling you guys, I've seen it every day. Like, Richard Sherman, there's an argument, I think, with Revis, but in my opinion, he was the best cornerback on planet Earth for an extended run. Like, I don't know how Pickens can say come at the career of Richard Sherman. I thought that was a little wild.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I was looking. Go ahead, Noodles. I was trying to figure out if that was real or not because he went at him.
That's the thing. Yeah, I saw that too, and I was wondering if it was real or if we got AI'd or whatever. Because nowadays, we in the group chat we throw stuff in there that's like, nah, that's not real. That's just made up, and stuff do that. Have you ever seen that before, though, Luke? Even in recent memory, a former player go at a player that hard? Like, you're right, it's justified, but you know, I haven't.
Yeah.
You know, in recent memory, see an analyst go to a player like that.
It's a little more common, I think, in the NFL because behind closed doors, that's kind of what it's like. You know, maybe not for star players all the time, but it's very, very blunt. Like, our meeting rooms, and you get desensitized, to be completely honest with you. Like, and you know, it's a bit weird on a personal, like, I still feel like I deal with this on like a day-to-day basis because like you just get like, you're used to people being like, yo, Luke, like, get this done or we'll find somebody who will do it. Like, that's the general gist of the NFL. You know, either you're going to get it done or you're not going to be here any longer. And for guys to kind of go out and, you know, I think he uses saying disinterested or disengage, and is what it looked like. So I think it's a bit of a slap in the face to like all players everywhere when you sit there and you've got an organization that's made moves at the deadline, that has sat here and done everything they can to put yourself in a position to potentially go on a playoff run, and you got a guy out here who's like jogging off the line of scrimmage, holding the ball out like it's careless. The effort's not there. Like, that's kind of, to be honest with you, I watched Sherman sing, and this might sound nuts, guys, but I didn't think it was that bad. I thought he could have been a lot worse. And trust me when I say, I've heard Sherman say a lot worse.
Of course you have. But you can't be surprised at the comeback. Like, if somebody carves you like that as a player in any sport, you got to come back with something, whether it's right or wrong, or he made stupid comments. You're like, I got to somehow fire back something to act like he was wrong or not justified or whatever.
I agree, O-Dog. Where I get jammed up is saying, like, you know, Sherman was nothing without the Legion of Boom. And I think his point on there was like,
that's just stupidity then, man.
Correct. It's like, you got to be clever. You got to craft that response in like there's a needle to be thread there. And I don't think saying that Sherman was not good at football, that was the general thing is the proper way to shoot back at Richard Sherman.
Right. Well, and there were other things.
He
about
did
the
it all,
details
boys.
of the game, and
Yes.
yeah, Sherman. Hey, he's a champion. Exactly. And listen, his opinion, I thought it was completely justified. I think that was an issue with Pickens and Pitt. That's why Tomlin couldn't stand him at times. He'd run wrong routes, or he'd quit on routes, or he wouldn't look engaged. And last night, I don't think it was going to matter because I think Detroit was just in the driver's seat all game. And to their credit, the Lions, they needed that win. It was a big one. But, it keeps the Lions in the race in the NFC. And we've talked about the math a lot. There's some big games this weekend. And we might as well get to them because we're betting them all. And these are tough games to play. All three of the games we're playing in the 3 windows are all very, very meaningful playoff games. You guys are on the clock in the 1 p.m. window. Ravens -5.5 against the Steelers. This is a tough game because both teams stink right now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where do you guys stand on this? Ravens -5.5 against Pitt.
Noodles, I'm not going to lie to you. This is the make or break weekend here, and I don't feel good about either of these picks. But that being said, I'm going back to the well here. I think we have to take the points. I think we have to go with the Steelers. Okay. It's a division game. Granted, the Steelers looked like absolute garbage last week, but they are professional. Dog's face.
Dude, I mean,
5.5 points. 5.5 points to a division team. And I like a lot of times in this league, when you get as public as they did last week, there is a rebound period. I don't expect them to come out and lay the same egg. And Hayes said it. The Ravens have also been garbage. I mean, they got smacked around by Cincinnati. So my hope here is that Aaron Rodgers comes out here. Generally, Mike Tomlin's good for a split with the Ravens. They play Lamar tough. Like, historically speaking, it's a divisional game. We got to keep this thing under 5 points. It's got to be, man. We got to go Steelers.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, you look at Lamar and the way that offense is working in Baltimore. I don't think it's just going to miraculously come alive. I don't. I think taking points is going to be a consistent theme here because we're on Packers-Bears. Packers laying 6.5 at Lambeau. Now, they have owned Chicago forever. I mean,
shout it out to the crowd. I own you.
Yes. And they've had multiple quarterbacks that have done it. Favre did it forever. Rodgers has done it, and even Jordan Love has done it. But it's a pretty big spread, and the Bears are coming off a very impressive win, and they've won a lot of ball games recently. Like Al's brother sending us his info and his detail, and his lean is towards the Bears. I'm not feeling great about that. I'm going to probably put you on the spot to lock this pick in, just because I think the Packers are coming off an extra day of rest. Packers defense has been phenomenal, and I just think the Packers are a better team. But
then let's roll with the pack, man.
No. You can't just be swayed one way or the other. You had a lean, and I'm gonna lean
Dude,
that way too.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me because I just had a feeling. My initial thought was Packers win the game, but the Bears cover. Right? Like that's kind of where my head is.
It's a divisional game.
Take
it's
the Bears then.
Game.
Take the Bears, boys.
It's
take the Bears.
Divisional game.
Big lot of points, O-Dog. Lot of points. Take the Bears, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of points.
It's a smart
but it makes
pick,
me think
O-Dog.
like the Packers just went into Detroit and slapped them around, so it's like I don't know.
Bears
There's something inside me that
Bears.
still thinks the Bears are garbage, and they're just kind of winging this.
That's my concern. I will admit, my
yes. You're waiting for the quarterback to just have one of those awful nights, and them to just be the Bears again, and that almost could happen at any game.
Right?
Is it going to be?
Did you
this
guys
game?
see the Bears run game? Take the Bears. They pushed around Philadelphia. Take the Bears, boys.
This guy wants us to take the Packers.
No, he's not. This guy does stupid nonsense all the time.
He wants us to take the Packers.
I got to be honest, my instinct, Luke, before you even said anything, I was leaning Steelers, Packers, Chiefs. That's how I was leaning on.
Noodles, we're going to be set then. We're in cahoots, Noodles. You don't got to worry about that.
So I don't know how you guys feel, but if you take the Packers,
they take
I would
the
back
Bears.
you. And we're against you. I don't even.
You're pushing us in that direction. You would support.
I'm not pushing you in that direction. I'm saying
we want the
my
Packers.
gut instinct told me those were going to be the winners. I can't pick spreads. I'm just looking for winners. That's all I care about.
Oh, go ahead, man. Lock it in.
Dude, are you honestly making me do that?
I want you to feel included. I want you to be a part of the team.
Okay, screw it. We're taking the pack.
Laying the points in Green Bay. All right. We're on Green Bay, laying the points.
It's a good pick.
I like that pick. I like that pick. It's a lot like the first pick you made. Remember, you went with the Lions, and I was saying take the Packers.
Yeah, but you know what? If you do it to me again, if it doesn't work out and you say, "Oh, this guy's a flying bag. Look at this guy. He's garbage." This guy started texting me. He was texting me in some group chains. He's like, "We're crap now, and I can't figure out why." And I'm like, "Well, it's because I'm on the team now."
Listen, one good thing about where we're at, we have breathing room. Dude, we have breathing room. We can.
We have almost
say
experimental room.
Yes, we do. And we're gonna
you say that, boys, but that can get real tight quickly here.
All right.
We can somehow manage to win these first two, and then Noodles said it. Game 3 here. Listen, everybody on planet Earth's going Texans, but here's where we're coming from. And Noodles, this guy's a savant. He just lied to you, so he's not good at picking spreads. The guy's unbelievable at picking spreads. First and foremost, you look at the extra week of prep. You don't think Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, a little embarrassed after the Thanksgiving loss, went back to the drawing board and said, listen, boys, we got to get after this team. Our playoff hopes are on the line. Secondly, it's in Kansas City. Third, if there's a guy who can solve the riddle of DeMeco Ryans' defense right now in Houston, it's Andy Reid. And then fourth, this is what I'll say, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens got after Spags' defense. Okay, the Texans don't got CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. C.J. Stroud is not playing at the same level Dak Prescott's playing this year. I'm telling you right now, I expect a bloodbath. I think the Chiefs make a statement, probably win by 6 to 8 points. We'll be 9 back at the end of Sunday night.
You keep doing this to yourself, man. Every week.
I know. I lost every week on the Chiefs.
Chiefs are going to return.
I know.
This team
You've been
stinks.
pumping the
They're
Chiefs
back.
up like they're just world beaters, and they lay eggs for you all year, but you keep circling back. They're like a hot babe that you just cannot stop calling.
Can't give up.
Sounds like a great situation, boys.
She's done it all.
You know what it is? You know what it is for me, guys? It's everybody's doubting them. Everybody's doubting, and I'm waiting for Mahomes to just go, not happening on my watch. I'm going to drag this team out of it. That's the way. And he's played well, right? You guys have talked about it. He's played well, but the rest of his team has been junk. Maybe Taylor Swift will be in the building because apparently him or her and Kelsey don't fight. Didn't you read that the other day? They've never had a fight.
I did.
2.5 years. Wow, first time ever. Never. No. That's because it's a long distance relationship. They're probably never around each other. You know?
Exactly.
Like there's no way that's true, and there's no way it's accurate. Although I haven't seen her at a lot of games this year. I feel like she's kind of keeping her distance from this
nowhere.
Team
she's been nowhere. No
6 and
no
6.
Appearances.
Doesn't want to be around losers. Doesn't want to be around 500 teams.
Shameful behavior. Yeah. But, all right, and I've noticed Al's brother pointing out there's some injury issues on that offensive line in Kansas City. That Houston #1 defense, man, they're going to chase Mahomes all over the park on Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot wait for that game.
Time will tell, boys.
Picks are locked in. Best of luck. You're going to need it.
Can't wait.
Best of luck. There it is. Luke Wilson joining us. Al's brother will be back on Monday with the Monday night pick.
Dude, is he going to be all pissy at me for taking the pack?
Listen, it's a carbon copy of what happened last week, man. I wanted Green Bay. You guys wanted the Lions. You went with the Lions. This week, my instinct says Packers roll, man. That is my instinct. I understand I'm a little biased, and I understand I've been watching Green Bay do it to Chicago forever, and Chicago's been a lot better this year. A lot better this year. To their credit, they've played really well. It was a big statement in Philly. I just think the Packers, it's December now, they're going to start humming, man. They've opened up that offense a bit more. That defense is cooking. Micah Parsons is ready to chase and hunt on Sunday, and I think he does that.
He better, because I need him to make that Williams life miserable.
Yes.
I think the Packs smoke them. I really do.
Love it.
I feel like it's going to be like a 14-point, like it'll be an ugly one. That's my gut.
That's what we're talking
31-10 or something. Like they just put on a clinic, and I love it. Because this is for the division, effectively. Like Green Bay wants any chance of winning the division, they got to win this game, and they know it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Lock in Green Bay. All right, Johnny coming up. Mike Johnson in about 15 minutes on the Leafs. How well they're playing, what we can expect out of the game tomorrow night with Montreal in town. The Oilers with a big win. McDavid and Draisaitl went off last night. Shane Pinto injured. You were there calling that. He's not going to play tomorrow night for Ottawa. That's a big hit for them. So we'll get into that and more. Dear Hazy B still to come as well. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mike Johnson coming up. Dear Hazy B, at the World Cup draw today. It was quite the festivities. It always is, every 4 years. And it's always a gong show. There's always weird stuff, and they're always way behind. But it's cool to have Canada involved. We knew they would because they're one of the 3 co-hosts. But now we know who they're going to play, Switzerland, Qatar, and then they got to wait for the 4th team. But it's going to be here before you know it. You know, BMO Field will be rocking. Toronto will be rocking.
I don't know if I should be in Toronto or be out of the city during that time. I don't know what Do you remember when they had, what was it, the Paralympics, where they had like a lane closed where you couldn't go in it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Specific for athletes and everyone like working the event.
Yeah, like the fast lane on the DVP both ways was like closed off, and you couldn't go in it if you were just a regular dude.
Yeah, the Pan Am Games. You had to be like a diplomat for the Pan Am Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it could be Italy. Like that, the odds-on favorite to get out of that UEFA playoff is Italy, which would be crazy. I think you'd want to be in town for that. Like, that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. If it's Canada, Italy on a Friday night at BMO Field in June, like, that will be insane. That'll be so much fun. And then you're like, I'm out of here. You know, the rest of the world can come in because other
you're
groups
telling
are
me
gonna be here.
you're telling me that match happens, you're going to the game?
I would do anything I could to get in. I don't know if I'd have access to tickets, but if I can get there, I would happily do that. Yes.
When we come back, I've got a theory about this Mr. Hayes there, O-Dog, that I'm going to float.
You think I'm planting the seeds for free tickets?
I'm just telling. I've got something cooking here. I want O to weigh in on it.
All right. You throw out the theory, and it'll either go boom or bust. We'll get into that. Mike Johnson coming up as well. Hour 2 up next. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
It's Mail It In Friday.
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. A little Village people to get things started for the final hour, right?
On time.
Imagine, like, you've got the World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. There's going to be, I don't know, 1 billion people around the world checking in on that. And you've got the hosts were Kevin Hart and Heidi Klum, which I didn't quite understand that. I get Kevin Hart's, he's a really big act, not my favorite guy in the world, but so be it. And the Village People is the band that's like wrapping up the show.
Isn't like John Bon Jovi kind of thing an option?
Or something modern, maybe something from the 2020s, something borderline moderately, modern.
Like you thinking like Rihanna type stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Anything
Beyonce,
like that,
somebody like that. Yeah,
sure.
I'd be
Fire
fine
up
with
Beyonce.
that.
That'd be great. But no, the Village People came out. It was a weird show. Just the whole thing was strange. It was a strange show. But anyway, Canada knows for the most part who they're playing, and I plan on being there. And I look forward to rooting for Canada.
I want to interject here because I've got a thought, and I want O's reaction to this, and then, Brian, you can defend yourself. So I remember this. Obviously, Leafs in the playoffs, Brian Hayes down in the building, and then there's Brian Hayes, with the Mike Sock standing there.
Yeah.
The Jays go to the World Series. We've got Hedge. You got Keegan, and then all of a sudden Brian Hayes morphs in there, and it's a 3-person panel.
So you think he wants to punt Duthie out or something and be wheeling down there?
It's Duthie and it's Stevie Caldwell, and all of a sudden it pans out, and Brian Hayes is standing there as a 3rd or a 4th, weighing in on it. I'm telling you, this is what I envision. Tell me if I'm
it's
wrong.
Possible. I'm not going to shoot that down. It's very possible. I need to be pitch side with my post game analysis. Maybe me and Shinetti, right? Shinetti and I can just be standing right there beside the pitch, and we can break everything down for SportsCenter. I don't see why that wouldn't go over well. I think that would be electric stuff. I could Richard Sherman some people.
That's
right?
the thing, though. He would be a phony, and he would be having, like, you would be talking like a soccer analyst. Like, there would be these half – remember we had a half chance, you know, sayings and stuff?
Yeah.
You would be saying that. And trying to act natural out there with the rest of them.
Yeah. Stevie, that was a disgrace out on the pitch, Stevie.
I love it. It was developed some sort of an accent. And I'm down there talking about games that aren't even like Canada games. You know, England's playing Croatia, and I'm out there somehow with a mic sock trying to run the whole operation. I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past you. Wouldn't don't put anything past me. I might try to request a media pass and weasel down there and find a way to get into the building. But it'll be fun. Like, it's not only Canada, obviously, playing at BMO, too, right? England's going to play a match here. We don't know which one yet, but England will play a match here. And there's going to be other countries around the world that are storming into town. And Vancouver, Canada's going to play a couple of games in Vancouver, obviously, as well, and a bunch in the U.S., bunch in Mexico. It's going to be a three-ring circus. It's crazy. 48 countries. Like, it's just a massive draw and a massive tournament. So, yeah, we're excited. And TSN's done great coverage today, and the coverage continues. Luke and Kevin and Stevie. And I was watching them today, and they're trying to say, hey, it was pretty good. You know, it was okay. I kind of get the impression they were a little bit bent out of shape, that we got Switzerland and probably Italy. Like, that's a really tough draw if that's what it comes to. Basically, you got to beat Qatar. You know, Qatar's a whipping boy right now in Canada. We're like, we got them. We'll just beat Qatar, and it's all good. So that's the plan. All right, Mike Johnson here in a moment. Leafs Habs tomorrow night. I liked Matthew Knies after the game. I'm sure you guys heard his postgame say, we got to carry this, bring it home. We're going to do that, and we're going to go get the Habs. Like, he basically said, we're looking for retribution, and we're going to bring it to him tomorrow night. I love that attitude. Like, that's what I want to hear. Why not? You're playing well.
And by the way, you mentioned it, Hayes. Like, they're still not in a playoff position, and they got a long way to go to dig out of this. If you look at the stretch that Tampa went on to dig out of the ditch, it was like 9 out of 12 or something. They won to get out of that. Like, that's what we're looking for here, and they got to do it, or else they're going to just not move because there's so many teams to climb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Tampa won 7 in a row. You're right. They got points in like 10 of 12, and now they've lost the last 2. They lost. I don't know if you saw that. Like, they thought they tied it, and it was like a greasy, like, glove to head or touched Hagel's glove, but they lost in regulation to Pitt yesterday. But, you know, you look at it, you do have to go on a run to put yourself back in that mix, and that's what the Leafs are trying to do here.
Yeah, they've started that run. You know, they've won 3 in a row, decisively won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of 5, and they come home tomorrow night against Montreal. Joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, he was with the team in Florida, with the team in Carolina. Here's our TSN hockey analyst, Mike Johnson. What's happening, Johnny? How we doing?
Hazy, I'm curious, of all the sports we cover, what is the one that you would, as fraudulent as you can be, still be like, I don't think I can cover that? Like, which one be like, that is a bridge too far?
Like, a soccer World Cup would be tough. Like, it would
stretching it.
It would be a tough one for me. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I would do not put anything past me. I don't know. There's some sport. I was talking about cricket recently. Like, my daughter was playing cricket,
sure.
And it's just not in my wheelhouse. You know, never.
We don't really cover that though. We don't have we don't have big cricket, tournaments, but the big ones we do. I'm thinking you think you could saddle up to just about any of them. Grey Cup, Super Bowl, Masters, hockey,
to do that.
Whatever, NBA final, you're in.
Yeah.
You're in for all of them. I love it.
The thing is, Hayes, if you're going to do something that you don't really have tons of knowledge about, you got to be more of like the host and non-opinionated. You can't be like, that was a garbage play, and then somebody look at you and say, that wasn't even a play.
Like with soccer in particular, it's just not something we do a lot. You know, like we don't talk about it. It's not a sport that I follow close enough. So it would be a challenge. You know, like talking about the Leafs, the Blue Jays, the Raptors, football, golf. That's my wheelhouse. That's our wheelhouse. That's what we do on the show. Soccer is obviously a little bit different, but we'll see.
Get used to it next summer, right? Like next summer, it's going to be 2 months wall to wall on our network, it's going to be crazy pandemonium. I kind of want it to be Italy. Like, I don't know if Italy's better than Northern Ireland or whatever other options that might come into that group. But given the strong Italian population in the city, just for the frenzied atmosphere, that would be like a historic night. Watching Canada play Italy in the World Cup in Toronto, that would be, yes. I might come down pitch side with you, dust off the cleats from when I was 13. Like, yeah, I can offer up something.
You and I will do pitch side analysis
all day long.
I love how it's pitch side. Just say field. Just say I'll be on the field.
No,
it's the pitch.
It's the pitch. It's the pitch.
Now, MJ, we were talking about it. Would you? I mean, the traffic. What are you thinking about during that whole nonsense? I mean, are you going to want to be right in the mix, or are you going to try and stay out of it and run up to the lake type of thing?
I'll be at the lake. By 100% will want to come down to watch Canada play here. It's like sort of a once in a lifetime thing in our hometown. And I know it's going to be a gong show, and I'll have to take the subway to Liberty Village and hike down across or whatever it is. Right? That's okay. But that one, and if England comes here, Hazy, I heard you saying that.
They are.
If it's not Canada, I cheer for England. And if England is playing here, that might be a harder ticket to get in Canada. I would like to try to get that one too. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll be trying it.
Yeah, that's a big match. And I'd like to be a part of that as well. We'll see. We got a lot of time to figure this out, right? A lot of time to figure this out. But yeah, we got the Leafs, back in town. You saw them in Carolina. You saw them in Florida. And we'll get to the Woll stuff because, unfortunately, there is, a black cloud kind of over the trip that you have to accept as a part of the reality. But they played really well. They played much more determined. They pushed a lot to the outside. I thought their big boys really played well. Like, man, they should be really happy, shouldn't they, with the way this road trip went?
I thought the likelihood of them beating Carolina was very low last night. Very low. Given a 6-game roadie, and it's already been pretty successful. Carolina is not a great matchup for Toronto anyways, but to their credit, and you're right, like last night's game was not perfect, right? Like Carolina generates chances and shots in zone time because that's what they do, but that felt, when it's sort of just revisionist because they won, but it felt more like last year. Well, they didn't always have the puck and their possession metrics were not always great, but they didn't give up layering chances against. And that's what we saw the first 20 games of the season, 15 games of the season, where the breakdowns were so bad or big that the chances were just, too much quality they were giving up. So even when they're in their own end against Florida, against Carolina, against Washington, they probably should have won that game too. Like, they didn't get running around that much. It was just more organized. Talked about connected or details or organized or committed, whatever. They were all those things. And then what was the recipe? We talked about it many times, right? The 3 prongs of last year. Goaltending, superstars, power play. So power play, it's out the window. Is next in line to throw some power play ideas up on the board. But goaltending has been, Joseph Woll has been incredible. And the big boys are doing it. And now they got a third line as well. So there's a lot there to like. And yes, they need to go 7-0 or something to get right back in it. But isn't Montreal like 2 points ahead of them? Like, isn't it 29-31? Like, if they win tomorrow, they're basically tied there. Like the Atlantic, which I thought was going to be pretty good, has not been that way. So, if they win against Montreal and win against Tampa, then they will be in the playoffs. And that would be crazy that they could, rally that much that quickly. But they should feel good about themselves. Everything except the power play, which is disastrous right now. And unfortunately, the injury. The injury to Joseph Woll is, I don't know what that does to this team right now. Given that they're playing so well, and he's such a big part of it. And they do need goaltending. Like, they don't suffocate teams. They need goaltending. Can Hildeby give it? I don't know. We'll find out.
That's where I was going to go, Johnny. I mean, when you look at it, did you tell right away? Like, I mean, we looked at the replay and, you're like, okay, shaking his knee or shaking his leg, like, and then all of a sudden he doesn't come out. Like, what did you make of it, or what was your instinct about it, having been there?
So I didn't see that specific instance. I'm between the benches, Noodles. You know what it's like down there. There's a lot going on. You don't always, have the biggest picture. You sometimes a little more narrowly focused. But I saw him go, maybe it was on a delayed penalty or something, but he was skating back to the net, Noodles, and he was like doing butt kicks with his legs, like almost like he's stretching something out. He was moving his legs around in an unnatural way. I'm like, that's a strange thing to do because that's not what he normally does. And now I was wondering, maybe he's tight, or maybe he's dehydrated or something. But I didn't know he was not going to come out. I wasn't on the talk back saying, hey, check that last save. Is Woll okay? I didn't pick that up at all. It was a surprise to me when Hildeby led them out in the third.
Johnny, we were just talking about Woll, like the whole situation, and what do you make of it? Like, is he a good goalie that you just can't trust because of his health, or is it like it feels like the Tiger Woods comeback where time and time again you're like, oh, he's coming back, here he comes, then he plays great and everyone starts drooling, and then all of a sudden it's like the guy's gone again. It's crazy stuff. And I mean, pro sports, like, you got to be able to depend on certain guys, and he is one of them. The goaltender position, you got to have some level of trust, and they right now can't trust either of these guys.
No, and it's a problem. I mean, it's a reality. I don't want to blame them, but sometimes people's bodies don't cooperate with the demands of professional sports, right? Like, it's not through lack of training or lack of toughness or any of that. Sometimes they just break down. And I think Joseph Woll last year, Noodles, what did he play? 42 games, something like that, 44 games. That, 44. I think, is the most games he's played in his entire life. Anywhere. Like, in junior and college, he never played 60 or 70 games. And the media scrum yesterday morning, the conversation was absolutely, do you think they'll play Woll tonight? And like, he's played a lot. Does he need a rest? Tough game. Maybe have him for Montreal. But I think we know that sports science tells you goalies should not play 7 of 8 games. Not 7 of 27. He played 7 of 8 since he's been back. And I think the doctors tell you that it's not Noodles. That's not good for goalies to do that. And maybe especially true for these goalies because they both have a history of breaking down, unfortunately. So I don't know what you do, You love the kid. You love the game that he has. When he's on top of his game, he is more than good enough to take you wherever you want to go. He's that good.
I know. And
he's that good.
The question is, what does it do for desperation? Because the team is desperate. They were desperate. And when you're desperate, you got to have your best guys on board to play. You're going into a big game that you need to win. You don't go look at your backup and say, let's go get him tonight. You know what I mean? You need your guy to go out there and do it. So I guess there's no such thing as desperation hockey when it comes to goalies.
If the Leafs were in first place by 7 points, does Joseph Woll play yesterday?
No.
Right? Like, I think they mix in a different starter at some point. So you talk about desperation, standings pressure. They're feeling it. I think Craig Brubaker's like, listen, he's rolling. We're rolling. I want the bird in the hand, the 2 points right here. Let's go try to get them tonight. He puts them in. And you know what? He could have sat them. The same thing could have happened Saturday. You don't know. But the reality is, when these guys have been called upon in their relatively short times as starters in the NHL, both about 4 years or so, they haven't been able to sort of string off 18 months of uninterrupted, high-level play, full health. I don't know what you do with that. I don't know if you could, you make alternative plans. You need a third goalie. I don't know what you do, Hayes, but it's just brutal timing for him and for the team because the team had something going or has something going.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, he's played 7 of 8, but he had not played any games prior to that. So it's not as if, he had been playing a ton through the training camp.
Yeah, but also he probably wasn't in shape, right?
Possibly.
Like, I don't know what he was doing while he was away, but he wasn't doing game shape stuff. So, yes, he would be fresh, but he probably wasn't even sort of as fit as he otherwise would be had he not gone anywhere. So a lot to unpack there.
It's unfortunate.
I think the Maple Leafs have the most sophisticated sports science department in the league. Like, whatever we're talking about, they know. They have looked into, they have sort of tried to figure out what the best course of action is. But I don't know, like in a groin, Noodles, you can't fight through a groin. You can fight through a shoulder, a back, a neck. You can't fight through a groin. And if you leave a game, what's that? 2 weeks? Christmas? What are we talking about here? And Stolarz is I don't know where he is. So it's these guys until basically Christmas. I think they have to, the way they approach it.
Well, I just wanted a quick comment on it because we don't know the nature of the injury. I was saying to the guys before you came on, I was hoping that maybe he was dehydrated and just cramping. And they said, hey, we're comfortable in the game. Throw the other guy in because we want you for Saturday or want you for the following week. That was my hope for this. And, of course, there's no information. Secondly, a comment, I've lived this. And the only reason, as a backup, I could always give you 7 to 10 games in a row but I never could get above that. I wasn't a starter. I could give you short-term starter minutes.
So what would you do, Jamie? Did you go up to the coach and say, "Bud, like, don't even think about putting me in the next one"?
No, because the coach would go, I can't put the guy in the net because he gave up 3 on 4. I would. The answer would be in my play. You would see it erode.
Play himself out of the net. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's no slight of me. I knew exactly. I could, as a backup and a good backup, you can give short-term starter minutes. If there's an injury, give me 10 in a row. But the 11th wasn't very good. Starters have the ability to lock it in and be able to give you a certain level every night. Backups or tandem guys need that spacing in between to get to that level. And that's the difference between, and you guys can talk about players, elite goal scorers, they need 1 shot, they can get it done. Third liners maybe need 3 or 4 shots to get an opportunity to score. That's just a difference in talent. So this is kind of, when you're looking at both goaltenders that are probably tandem goaltenders, the minute you ask them to play a lot, you see an erosion or an injury because they're not used to it. It's tough.
Well, it's the latter point, though, that is germane to this, right? It's not their play that falls off. It's their body does, which is very different than anything I can recall. You're right. Historically, you're asking a lot. The backup's going to play 10 games. You're in trouble. Not because you're like, well, his knee's going to get wonky. He's going to give up 5 goals on 7 shots, and you're going to lose.
Exactly.
This is different with the Leafs. And it also, there's a Jim Moore element to this, but in the playoffs, they can't play. How could they play 24 games in a cup run? They can't do it.
Every other night.
Cannot do it. If this is just a reality in December, the guy cannot do it. Sports science, whatever, it's defined. Then you're going into every single spring, if you're lucky enough to make the playoffs, understanding you don't have a guy that's going to play every night.
No.
You can't do it.
Your only option is to play a tandem in the playoffs.
Exactly.
You're like, if there's 2 7-game series in a row, whoever I like right now as the starter, he's going to blow his hip out, his knee, whatever, and we just can't do it.
Yeah. That seems like a reality.
Yeah.
It's just that's
so now,
science.
guys, do you trust the duo now, or do you go shopping?
What are you talking about?
James Reimer?
They're not. Both of them are not playing.
But no, the duo they have Hildeby in AA, Aksyanov. Do you trust those 2 guys to go 3 weeks, or do you say, listen, we need to go get UPL or Alex Line or some journeyman third guy, Ville Husso? The guys that are floating around that are, at least they've been there. They tried it with Reimer, did not go well. They tried it with Caden Primo, it might have gone worse. So they've sort of explored this idea because I think they knew they should be prepared for something like this. Noodles, I don't know the depth charts all the way around the NHL, but I got to imagine the pro scouting department went on overdrive last night, pun intended, to try to find another guy that might be able to help out in the short, a month or whatever it's going to be.
Well, it's funny, though. I've always believed teams need 3 NHL goaltenders, especially with sports science, the condensed schedule, all of that type of stuff. You just mentioned Ville Husso. He played a game the other day. Teams are clinging to the goaltenders that they have. There's not somebody out there with a lifeline going, hey, I see you need a goaltender. I'll give you one for a couple weeks until Woll can get back or whatever. They're gonna. Tree doesn't have a lot of currency, and I don't know if he wants to spend his currency on a rental goalie for a couple weeks or whatever. No. So that's the other, predicament we're dealing with, guys.
Yeah, that's the reality they're in right now. And I think they would pluck someone off waivers if he were there, and maybe the guy shows up. Maybe a goalie goes on waivers, and I would presume they'd probably grab him, give it a shot, because at this point you just have no timeline on these guys. Again, it wasn't a negative trip. It ended with the injury. Obviously, that wasn't great. But what did you make of that top line in particular? The third line's been great, and they did it again last night to start the party. Matthews, though, for me, is starting to chug. He's starting to look much, much better. What do you make of his game?
So I think the work has always been there, but what I've noticed has been different, Hayes, is maybe it's the unit of 5 that they are now generating rush chances. And that just didn't happen, right? These plays that they make, they look nice, skilled, finished. They didn't get 2-on-1s previously. They didn't get 3-on-2s. They didn't get breakaways. And I think those counterattack odd man rush situations make everything so much easier. Everything. And they look great doing it. So I think that's been a big uptick because they play better defense. They get out of their own end, cause a turnover, and then they go. That's been different. I think Willie Nylander is either sick or a little injured because he was sluggish by his standards last couple games. So we'll give them a pass because they've been really good. The third line, I mean, we've been looking for it all year long. You didn't know what you're going to get. Nick Waugh had sort of started to come a little bit, but then was hurt. Joshua scratched, but he's been so much more engaged, like wildly more engaged. Like, so shockingly that you could flip the switch like that from a scratch.
No
hitting, screens, puck battles. You're like, where was this when you were getting 6 minutes? But who cares? It's there now. And Bobby McMahon, he's fast. He shoots it well. He offers something really nice there. And then to complete the four lines, we're seeing the Scott Lawton that they traded for. And I think the penalty kill has gotten way better with him in it. And being around the team a little bit, guys, I think Scott Lawton is he values stuff that he does, like dressing room stuff, being the vibe guy, the DJ, the chirper, the shoe checker, the dinner plan arranger, like all that stuff. And I think when he got to the team last year, such a good team, it's the first time he's on a new team, he never sort of got comfortable in his spot in the group. And now he is. And all the guys talk about him, and it's leading on to his play on the ice. He's been really good. Nice to see him score a goal finally because he needed that as well. But I think 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all sort of shaping up the way you hoped it could. And then on the D, I mean, Troy Stecher, who would have thought Troy Stecher would be as important to pick up as any we have seen in the entire NHL this year? Like, it's crazy
Johnny,
how important he's become.
Let me ask you this. If that defense core, because I know what my thoughts are, got healthy, I'm not taking him out of the lineup for one of the guys coming back.
No.
Tanev, you're going to come back, but Brandon Carlo is not taking Stecher's position as of right now. Sorry.
No, well, the only thing is they do have two lefties playing with OEL and Morgan Riley.
I don't care.
So maybe you could.
Benoit comes
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only other thing
Benoit.
I would say, Benoit and Myers would come out for sure. But the only thing I would say is that I don't know what was going on with Brandon Carlo all year. If he wasn't healthy, because he didn't look right the whole year. He looked sort of like he was struggling. And I wonder, like, with better health, does he play much better? So you're right, though. Troy Stecher has played himself into a top 4 role and penalty killing. And I know you guys love the underlying numbers, but his are amazing on a team whose everyone's are pretty mediocre or worse. Yes, he's not going anywhere. He's not like 65%, 68% possession, high danger chances, expected goals, where 53 is high level. He's well into the 60s on all those numbers.
That is what I am talking about.
He played more minutes than anyone last night.
You joke.
Right?
Craig Berube, after the game, looks at expected goals for the players and for the teams. That's like one of the things they look at. So he's been great for them. All you can expect.
Well, and like when he's been playing with McCabe, he stabilized. He was he did not have a good start.
All of it.
Yeah, it's been a stabilizing force, and Ekman Larsson's been great too, man. I got to give him a
so
shot.
good,
full props,
so good.
Full props.
Really good as a veteran guy.
You know what? The two things that stand out, Johnny, and you can weigh in on it too. Stecher can skate and move the puck. That's the difference. OEL, when he was younger, was that type of puck transporter and that. If you turn the clock back on OEL and Stecher, who can skate and move the puck, all of a sudden you can get out of your zone. All of a sudden, forwards can get the puck. That's the difference. That's what I see. Because Stecher in Edmonton was on a third pairing. He's a 6. He's a 7, depending on what defensive core you're on. Here, they didn't have a puck mover on the back end. All of a sudden, he's playing in a 4 spot, and he looks really good because he can skate and move the puck.
That's why he looks different, because he has quick feet, and virtually nobody else does.
Yep.
Flat out.
Ryan
Jake McCabe's
back there.
28. That's not a terrible right shot example. Like, yeah. And OEL doesn't skate it, but he passes it brilliantly up the ice. But Stecher, you see him wheel the net and skate up. You're like, we don't see anyone on the Leafs do that. Go back, take the net, pass it up, and join as the 4th guy or the 3rd guy. So, yeah, it's been great. Now, they want Tanev. They want Carlo. They want all their options in front of them. But, yeah, he's been You talk about waiver wire pickup, like a nothing claim turned into something pretty important.
It's worked out really well. Yep, Leafs with a really good road trip, and now Montreal tomorrow night. You got to keep it going now, right? You got Montreal,
right.
And they're a bit wounded. They're not playing as well as they want to be playing.
And Tampa.
Really embarrassed.
Did you see Tampa's defense, Hayes? Did you see Tampa's defense right now? They will have 3 players playing on Monday that you, Brian Hayes, jack of all trades, have never heard of. Never even heard of.
Jack of all trades.
I actually, there is one that I know because I looked him up, and I actually said to myself when I was reading the lineup, who the hell is that guy? I got to go find him because I've already forgotten who he is.
Jacqueline Carlisle?
What was his name?
No.
There's
a Darno, like a Charles Edward Darno or something.
Got it.
I don't know who that is.
Charles Edward Das Astrus.
That's two.
It was a wild handle, and I was like, who the hell is that guy? But he'll be in town early next week.
Mm-hmm.
And the next 2 Saturday nights, man, it's go time. You got the Habs here tomorrow, and then McDavid and the Oilers next Saturday. It's going to be they got a 5-game homestand here. You got to take care of business. Bedard coming through town, Celebrini coming through town. It's a big week and a half. All right, Johnny, we'll leave it there. Great catching up with you, man. And we'll do it again soon. Real soon.
Always a pleasure talking footy with my footy friends.
You too, pal. We'll catch you by the pitch. There he is. Mike Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza's NFL Game Day menu. Stop by your local BP for $7 touchdown pints, dialed-in shareables, and weekly prizing up for grabs. Football game days are better at BP. All right, we've got best bets still to come. We've got Dear Hazy B. I think we have some Wayne Gretzky coming up.
I want to hear it next.
You want to hear Wayne?
I want to.
99 up against country names, man. It was a battle. It was Leafs Kings back in '93. So we'll let you see that and hear that as well. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Dear Hazy B later in the hour. Best bet still to come. Leafs in action tomorrow night. Raptors back in action tonight after a heartbreaker. It was a great game. And Lakers, man, Austin Reeves, that guy is so good. And how he wasn't included in that Luka trade is still beyond me. But that's Nico Harrison for you.
They got street clothes, though, man. What else do you need?
Street clothes and a pick. And street clothes are going to flip now because they're a mess. He never plays, and they're just going to trade him somewhere. It's just a disaster. Like, they're going to have nothing to show for that trade. Luka is going to leave.
Street clothes got caught in the golf course last year when he was hurt.
Injured. Yeah.
He was teeing it.
Yeah, he was at, like, LACC or something. Like some sick track, too, naturally, like you would expect. Okay, so the World Cup draw was today, and Canada, they got Switzerland, Qatar, and then there's a playoff team coming from Europe, right? And it's not going to be easy. My understanding is, based on what our guys were saying, there could have been easier groups pulled, but this is what you got. You know, and you got to be confident. You said it earlier, like you're playing at home, you're Canada, you got to win. You got to try to win.
Like, what kind of mentality is it? Like, I don't know about this. Just their coach said it best. One of the clips Al's brother played, it was like, we're confident against anybody.
Right, absolutely. If it's Italy, so be it. Play them. You know, Switzerland, okay, they're like 17th ranked team in the world. You can play them. You can beat them. Go for it. Qatar, you got to get. But today, you know, it was what you would expect, right? All the world leaders were there. There's big superstar, you know, soccer players and a lot of North American stars. Brady was there. Aaron Judge was there. Shaquille O'Neal was there. Wayne Gretzky was there. So the 4 major sports in North America were represented for the FIFA World Cup draw. And Wayne Gretzky was out there. It was funny, like, watching Shaq. The host, every time Shaq would pull the name out, like, would kind of give him this, like, hey, great job, as if Shaq was like a 4-year-old kid that wouldn't be able to follow instructions. It was pretty hilarious to watch. But Gretzky actually pulled 4 names. I thought it was 3. It was 4. We have the montage. And you guys tell me, because I'm pretty sure he went 0 for 4, and it turned into one of the great.
Okay, well, why don't you do one by one? Can you do one by one and say this is the country that he pulled?
Apparently it's all together. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't put it together. It's not my job. So we have all of them. Okay, so we're going to play them all, and we'll come back and break it down.
Okay, we got the winner of Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, Republic of Ireland. Curacao. Okay, I've been practicing this one all morning. The winner between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. Jordan.
Jordan is correct.
That is not correct. It's Jordan.
Dude, it is.
It's Jordan.
It's Jordan. Jordan. Michael Jordan. Not Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Dude, you might have to ask Doogie to look that one up. Like, to Google YouTube pronunciation, it might be Jordan.
I don't think so, man.
I'm not like a CNN news guy, but I think it's Jordan.
Well, maybe in Canada it is, right? In Ontario, he grew up with the same education system that you and I did, right? Maybe in Ontario, that's how we pronounce it.
I'm giving him a total free pass on Jordan.
Pass. Okay. Listen, some of them are tough to get right. I mean, come on. They're tough.
Sirocco.
It's not Sirocco.
How did he say it?
He didn't get it right. It's all that matters. It was incorrect.
Yeah. So I had a buddy who's Macedonian send me a note saying, watching the show and when Gretzky announced Macedonia, it was actually sounded like he knew Macedonian language because you do pronounce it as Macedonia in Macedonian language.
Really?
My family background is that, so this is how I know. Big fan of the show.
I'm telling you, this guy's ahead of the curve, man.
Gretzky hit it all.
And Macedonia.
Maybe he had it phonetically spelt out and was actually doing it accurately. And here I am being a loser, calling him out.
No.
And he actually hammered it. I don't think so, but.
Well, here's the only thing I would ask is, does he have something in his ear and they're talking to him like an IFB like we do when we're on air?
I doubt it, man. I mean, it's possible. It's a big operation, but I got to think if you're Wayne Gretzky, you're saying, hey, just leave me alone. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'll show up. I'll put a smile on. I'll try to have some fun with it, and we'll get through this thing.
But don't you think when he said, I was practicing it, so somebody had told him the correct pronunciation.
I think you totally got this wrong, Hayes. This guy knocked this out of the park.
No,
and it was
I don't think he knocked it out of the park.
It was phonetically on the cards. And he was like, he belted them out perfectly. Jordan is how you say it.
You think Jordan. Like the other ones, I don't know. I thought it was Macedonia, Macedonia, Macadamia nut. It seemed like it was a little bit off. But maybe, Noodles, you just pointed it out. Actually, that was accurate. Jordan, to me, does not seem
Doogie,
proper.
can you come on the air and please tell us if
Doogie, no.
I told him to YouTube the pronunciation.
Okay.
Doogie's 22 years old.
What
Go
is
ahead,
it?
Doogie.
It's Jordan.
Thank you.
It's pronounced Jordan.
It's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. You can't jam that up. You can't mess that up.
Dude, I'll put my life. I will bet you a lot of money. Anyone with half a brain, like ask Dave Naylor or somebody smart that we work with. It's Jordan.
Okay. Well, according to Wayne Gretzky, it is. It was.
Yeah.
And you
can you play it again? Because I think there was something else in there. Like, can we play it one more time, please?
We'll play it again. You know where he gets jammed up is he pulled two that were four namers. Right, that were playoff pools where he had, so he was like, please just be one, and he unraveled. He's like, oh God, I got to do all of these countries. So he actually had more work than the other guys. But all right, let's go back to the tape here. Wayne Gretzky earlier this afternoon at the World Cup draw.
Okay, we got the winner of Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, Republic of Ireland. Curacao. Okay, I've been practicing this one all morning. The winner between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. Jordan.
Dude, and I think it's Curacao. It's Curacao. It's not Curacao. Curacao.
Dude, how many people? I think
there.
you're being unfair to Gretz. Like I would say Curacao.
It's great that you would say
You ever heard of Sirocco?
It's, again, Curacao, not my wheelhouse. But I would think if I'm like, all right, I'm going up in front of 1 billion people representing the World Cup.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, Hayes. But there's a million different options you're going to pull out. You don't know what you're pulling out.
There's 48 options.
You know when I see
not a million. They were coming up with planets that they were going to throw out.
Curacao is Curacao. Jordan is Jordan.
You know what
All right.
When I see Curacao, I think there used to be a liquor called Blue Curacao. And that you would put it in like vodka, or you put it in like
Blue Curacao.
Curacao.
Blue Curacao.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how it's pronounced from the island.
I'm
from
fairly
the
certain
country.
It's not. But listen, he got the job done. You saw the name, and that's what matters, right? And it's all good. Wayne Gretzky took time out of his personal life to go do this kind of thing. So it's all good.
We love Wayne.
Yeah.
We should have him on the show here soon.
We've had him on, and we'll have him on whenever Wayne Gretzky wants to come on. I guarantee you he has fun with this on TNT. The next time he's on, you know it's coming. They're going to have fun with it. Biz will start doing something. There it is.
Look at that Curacao.
There's Blue Curacao.
Wow. I'll bet you that's Curacao. It's probably, you guys have probably been mispronouncing it for 30 years.
Well, I drank it when I was 17 years old, so I don't know if anything you could get your hands on back in the day.
That stuff looks like it'll just crush you, Curacao.
All right. Maybe you guys are right. There's people writing in saying, I think it's Jordan. And you're right
Seriously?
on this. Well, I mean, one guy.
Really?
Who the hell knows who he is? He's an anonymous Twitter handle. But, yeah, we'll see. All right, maybe Wayne Gretzky hammered it, and maybe we got to come on Monday and completely apologize. Or I do anyway. But there you go. World Cup draw, and we know what's coming, right? Canada, they're going to be playing June 12th at BMO Field, and can't wait for it. It's going to be an awesome, awesome tournament on TSN, of course, and full coverage all day. You can find everything on tsn.ca. Come back with our best bets. There it is. There's Group B, FIFA World Cup, Group B. Toronto, Vancouver. It's going to be amazing.
Exciting,
Cannot wait for it.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right, best bets coming up. Dear Hazy B coming up. We'll wrap up a busy afternoon, busy week. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
People send in a tweet. They write us for our professional advice on life things. Dear Hazy B, every morning my boiler has a gas leak. My wife thinks it's the baby.
Dear Hazy B.
If you want to come to Hazy B, I need honesty from you.
Hazy, you got dumped a lot. Tell him.
Grown adults with birthdays, it's asinine.
All right, Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza's NFL Game Day menu. Stop by your local BP for $7 touchdown pints, dialed-in shareables, and weekly prizing up for grabs. Football game days are better at BP.
What do you want to do? There's an all-encompassing one just with dealing with the footy match with the potential Italy-Canada, how you deal with in-house fighting. Or I did get a DM from a guy that said he stayed over at his girlfriend's for American Thanksgiving. He was from Rochester. And in the middle of the night, he went to get water in the kitchen, and her mother came in there with no gear on, and they laid eyes. And he doesn't know if he should tell the girlfriend or if the mom is going to first, and he doesn't. What do you want to do, the soccer one or the guy in Roch?
You can't say the last one and then just turn left.
The mother-in-law, you got to do that.
Yeah, I think. Wow, how do you handle that one? That's a dicey
that's what he
one.
said in his note. He goes, I don't know if I should tell my girlfriend, because if I don't and then the mom does, what is the girlfriend going to say to me? Why didn't you tell me you saw my mom with no gear on?
I think that's an easy explanation. I say don't say anything because the explanation is very simple. If it gets back to you, you just say, I didn't want to embarrass her. It was just an awkward situation. I went and got water. It happens. We got out of there. What are you going to do? Here's the problem is, if this is potentially going to happen again in the future, that's where you got to make up your mind.
If it happened once, you never step foot in that kitchen. You bring a massive Evian bottle of water to bed so you're not going up there late at night to lock eyes again.
New rule on that front is you make sure you bring water wherever you're going. Yeah. You get at Stanley, you get whatever you have to, and you figure it out. But, you know what it's like. You get people that are comfortable in their house. If they're no gear people,
dude, it's an accident.
Yeah,
it's an accident.
But it's still kind of a wild play, knowing that you have someone else, like a guest in your house, and you're going no gear, just walking around.
Yeah, but dude, at 2 a.m, who thinks that someone's going to be in the kitchen? I would do that.
Fire on a robe or something. Throw on a pair of pants.
Who has a robe?
Yes.
You honestly have a robe hanging in the back of your door in your room?
I absolutely do. I
Yes.
don't use it often.
No way.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't have a robe, especially if you're married? There's a his and her robe.
Yeah.
Is there not? Am I
right.
wrong with that?
We have that. Absolutely, we have that. Just in case. And I mean, we don't have any visitors just walking around the house, but when that happens, robes will be worn. I think it's an egregious move by the mother-in-law just to a complete gear-down kitchen move at 2 a.m. That's crazy.
Dude, it's to grab a
That's
cup of
rolling
water.
dice.
It's to grab a cup of water.
Throw something on. There's
No.
other people in the house.
Exactly. Does she live on a commune?
couldn't go
or
down
what?
to
Like, I don't
my main
understand.
floor and turn a light on and make some toast at midnight with no gear on, and there is no issue with anything.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
know.
need that visual. You drop the bread.
Right.
She walks in and you're digging the bread off the floor or something. We don't
outrageous.
need to see that. Like,
No.
nobody needs to see that.
It's a
Put
naked
robe
Russian
on or a
roulette
towel.
play, and it's unnecessary. But I would say
not
just don't
everybody
say
rocks
anything.
a towel like a robe. It's
Okay.
not a normal play.
Anyway, I don't say anything. The advice is just let it go. If it comes up, you have an easy out. Hey, I didn't want to embarrass anyone. I didn't want it to get crazy. Who cares? It doesn't matter. If it happens again, that's when you're going to have to go to her and say, you got to tell your mom to smarten up here. This is getting ridiculous,
knock it
man.
off.
Like something's getting a little bit carried away.
I think it's too late to tell. Like if this happened American Thanksgiving, which was last week or the week before.
Yeah.
You can't go to her now and say, "Look, I saw your mom." Like you can't do it now. She's going to say, "Why didn't you just tell me?"
I guess. Although I don't think you're really holding anything back, unless you were, I don't know. Unless it got a little bit carried away with the stare down and all that, then maybe he's got his own conscience.
Well, what he's got to watch for what if he starts getting a hairy eyeball at the dinner table, a little horse eye over the turkey.
That's where it gets troublesome. You got to be careful, man. Just stick to yourself. Get your own water. Get the hell out of there. Right?
Yeah, mind your own business.
Absolutely. Mind your own business.
Yeah.
As for the World Cup stuff, we got 6 months to figure that out. But there's going to be infighting. It's going to happen. This was a hypothetical our whole lives. Canada was never in the World Cup. From 86 until 22, it never happened.
No
so
kidding.
It was never a concern.
Not even a possibility.
It was never even a thought.
Exactly.
Like, what if you run into this team or that country or whatever? Now it's a reality, which is a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's got to be celebrated. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Leafs Habs tomorrow night. Leafs are paying some juice. I'm going to avoid picking a winner, but I'm going to take the over tomorrow. It just feels like a 5-4 game, and I'll take the over. I'm going to parlay it with Matthews anytime goal scorer. He's on a heater right now. Nick Suzuki anytime goal scorer. He's on a bit of a heater as well. So I'll go with that parlay over Suzuki anytime, Matthews anytime in the game tomorrow night. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available for every NHL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right, well, Leafs back home. Raptors in action tonight. We got football games this weekend. We got Rory McIlroy down in Australia making the cut. That was cool. I was watching that at like 1 a.m. last night, which was pretty cool. And, yeah, we've got possibly some Jays news coming soon too, right? Because the winter meetings get started later this weekend. So it's going to be a fun week.
Keep the train rolling, and great job for the new cat behind the desk, learning from JP.
Crushing it, as always. Absolutely.
Good
The
work.
whole crew behind the scenes. Absolutely outstanding. We can't thank them enough for all their help. We thank everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and up on YouTube Live. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your weekends. We're back Monday at...
Fight fire with fire. You get water with no gear too. 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.